to ethically use them, how they were created, what is going on with them. It's might not get the best of results in the classroom. And that's why the conversation I had with AR book yesterday, I told them, I mean, from their pitch, they told me that they have seen the lapses, right? So they're able to identify those lapses in the education in the classroom and now brought solutions to each of those lapses. So if you see the screenshot I sent to the group, it was their problem statement I sent there. So those are lapses that you can identify in your own classroom and see, can this technology actually solve the lapses? But the fact that the technology is out there does not mean the technology actually solve the problem. You are the specialist that knows whether it solves the problem. So, and I think, to the best of my knowledge and to what we have been seeing so far, I think AI is solving one or two problems here and there, and we can still bring it all together. So to yesterday's lesson, it was Notion. Um, if you can still hear me, let me know. If you have any question on the go right now, please just share.
We can hear you very well. At least from
Okay.
my end, I can.
All right, great.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I'm dropping the link on the group now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the link is on the group for those that need the YouTube link. Okay, so let me share my screen. If there's anyone that have the doc of yesterday's work, maybe probably share it. Sorry, who remembers what we did on Friday? Can someone just talk about what we did on Friday? Friday, we did okay, I think a lot of people already sent feedback on Friday's work. Friday was assessment, and we already talked about it on Thursday's call where we use quizzes. I don't know if I'm right. If there's anybody on that call.
Yes, you talked about it already.
Yeah, so we talked about it already, so I don't have to go back to Friday's work. So we're just going to start from today's one. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it now.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you.
What do you want to
Ah,
do? You want to draw?
okay, I might have to share another screen, not this screen. Share again. Okay, thank you everyone that's has notified that they can see my screen. All right, so I'm basically sharing this because it's going to be like Infinity. You can still see my screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can
Okay.
see
Okay, so the tool that
Yes.
we used yesterday was called Notion. And let me go to that doc. It's gonna be embedded in somewhere else. I'll get it now. Um, and what we did in Notion was we tried to create a planner for ourselves. So as teachers, sometimes the schedules are so many things are on our plates, and I think it's in life generally, right? So I think this is one thing that AI can help you to do. I think there are some times where I go to my AI and say something like, "Let me plan my money," right? Though it does not work. Just tell you off, it does not work because it's not going to help you with discipline, right? But uh, nonetheless, you can actually use AI to get some kind of plan. I mean, even pulling off some kind of business ideas and all of that, I use AI a lot. Now, when I say use AI, there's still the place of responsibility. You don't just take something to AI and think that it will help your life, right? You have to add your own expertise to it. So it can help me create structure. But nonetheless, yes. So this is what somebody sent. Okay, no. This is Notion. This was the assignment that asked us to, and these were the screenshots I took, and I was showing us on the call on the Google Doc yesterday. So Notion is a workplace tool. I mean, it spans to different kind of workspace. Even people in the social media use Notion for another purpose. People in business organization use Notion for another kind of purpose. So it's a really multi-purpose tool which you can use for a lot and lot of things, especially for like automating things. For reminder, let me go to the home. All right, we can use it for social media automations. Um, Notion is a course on its own. If you want to understand how to use Notion, like it's a whole course. I think I've seen some courses that lasted 4 hours on YouTube just explaining Notion. But what we wanted to draw out of it was how to use it to create a plan for ourselves. I think when they were advertising themselves one time, I saw them and I downloaded it on my mobile phone. And one interesting thing about it is that you can set tasks on it and tell it to give you a reminder when you should get those tasks done, right? And it will actually give you those reminders, especially if you have it as a mobile app on your phone. That's the power of Notion. So the first task or the task we're supposed to do there, it was to not just use Notion now, but to actually use the assistant of AI. So Notion did not always have AI, but AI have introduced to it. So to use the assistant of AI to help us get more clarified tags, pathways, and everything. So this is create a new page. That was the first thing that was on that manual. Let me open a manual so that we just do it side by side. I'm trying to remember the name. Is it day 6? I don't want to open my entire. There's a lot of let me just open my doc. It's a lot of document there. Where is it? 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 Okay, this is it. Build my AI. Yeah, so this is it. So the first task there was open a new page, right? So all we just needed to do was to click on new page. So if you're using a mobile phone, you can, let me open it on my mobile phone so that I'm giving you direction also. If you're using it on a mobile phone, you can click on new page. Right, so we have new page here. So what we do on this new page, if I click on I think this my hash. Okay, so this is the title, sorry. This is the title of the page. So what we're supposed to do was to give our title my AI planner. Is it AI planner? Yes, AI planner. So let me just write my to do, right? So my to do. Somebody did this with ChatGPT already, which I think was the alternative option there, or any other AI tool you have there. But the only thing I said is the difference is that Notion helps you to like get reminders. It can automate with your emails, probably send you emails, right? Okay, I'm seeing inbox here. I don't know whether it's from my, yeah. So this was a reminder of yesterday. AI plan. So this was supposed to be on my email. I didn't see it in my email. Maybe I have not synced them together. So it's supposed to send an email to me telling me that okay, it's time for this, it's time for that. So that's one thing that Notion can help you do. All right, so my to-do. So when we come down from here, um, when I click on the backspace backslash, I could see a lot of things I could actually do with Notion, but we're not actually supposed to do everything, right? Translator, ask a question, there's actually a video on Notion I put on the material. I didn't even do a slide that you can actually like go through and listen to and see so many diverse things. So these are lots of things you can do in Notion, calendar view, everything. But the only two things, even add your Google Map to give you locations and all those things. You can connect it to Figma when you are building a project. Those of us in tech fields will understand what I mean there. Type form. Maybe somebody is filling a form. You like when you were invited for this AI in education. Now you fill the form. Once you drop your information, Notion just picks it up, automates the process, by which I don't have to go back and go and search for the emails and everything. So when I wanted to do that, the other tool I'm going to be showing us today was what I use, and that was Zapier. Now, these sometimes may look like complicated tools, and that's why, okay, see it here. That's why it's not compulsory everybody knows how to use this tool, but if you can get the hang of it, I don't know, why not? And if you can get it on your mobile phones, even makes it more easier. Right? And they're not, Notion is not the only one out there. So just as we always say, ChatGPT can help you explore. You can just ask ChatGPT to show you more tools like Notion, and you will get several other tools like Notion. If you can still hear me, can still see me, not me, but the screen, let me know.
I can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you and see your screen.
Okay, thank you. All right, so first thing there was to set my to-do list, and the next was open a new page, which we just did now. So that I knew it was going to be kind of difficult, as I broke down the steps like this. Then on the page, add 3 headings: daily tasks, weekly goal, and learning journal. Now, this is because of the task, so it might be different for you. It can be, okay, this example just came off my head. It can be you are trying to plan out your devotion, you're trying to plan out your class schedules, you're trying to plan out anything. So you just want to like list them out there. So all we needed to do was to put the 3 headings, right? So what was the first one, please? I'm just gonna probably just go, okay, daily tasks, weekly goal. So I pressed the backspace so that I could see heading. Heading is actually an hash or a hash, but so if I put that, it's supposed to come out, but I'm going to use this backspace, come inside here and pick heading. So first heading, daily tasks. Daily tasks. So next one was put the second heading, which was
How is it showing? I do
second
not
task
see.
put as
Okay.
weekly goal and learning journal. So weekly goal, and finally learning journal. All right. So daily tasks, like what are the tasks you do daily? So it was really, really concise of what you should do. But if you are doing this on your day-to-day activity, you're not going to probably do exactly what or write exactly what was there. So, but what we said we should add there was um daily tasks, a short description of your day, for example. So this was an example, right? So I'm just going to take this example again. I'm not going to type all that. So I'm going to take example. First one is prep 2 classes. So let's say you have 2 classes. Well, I don't think that applies to everybody. Some people have like 9 classes, 9 period. All right. So let's say you have 2 classes. Let's say you have 9 classes. Let's say that day you need to prepare quiz for some people. Like someone like me now, I always forget to submit my assessment until maybe like um the night before the exam. So let's say you have quizzes, then a 30 minutes personal learning. So you want to be like deliberate about putting it in, like your plans for the day, plans for the week. So I'm going to just take all of this. I copied that already. So let me just go to here and add it as a note to this one, right? Let me remove the one. So today's prep. So now the next thing to do there was we're asked to Mr. I'll make you an admin now so that you can check out for mics. All right, next thing we asked you there was to prompt the AI to generate a daily learning schedule for a teacher, balancing class, grading, blah, 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 blah. So it's a simple prompt, really. We talked about prompt engineering. So when you've planned out your day, okay, I mean, not necessarily planned out your day, but when you've known out everything you want to do for the day, and like, okay, how do I schedule this? I want quick solution. You can now write a prompt in your own way. It doesn't have to be the way it was written here. In your own way, and you're like, okay, this is what I want you to plan out for me. So I'm writing that prompt out. Before I write the prompt out, I need to turn on the AI. Is it ask a question? Let me just ask a question. All right, so I dropped that prompt for the AI to help me plan out my day. So this is my morning block, prep time. So it said, okay, review lesson plan for today, 30 minutes. That's 30 minutes before the class. And prepare materials and activity for upcoming lesson. Then, so it can be anything. It's just based on the outcome, based on what you actually prompted it to do, based on what you want to achieve that very day. So I said read an educational article or book. Most times you can't achieve goals if you don't actually set them. If you don't actually pen them down to set or use AI to do it for you. If you don't do that, you might. So that's one way this name comes in, right? So let's say we've gotten that. I think I was supposed to just use okay, I'll insert it below. So it has added that to my day. So in the morning is what I should do. In the midday is what I should do. This was quite different from my response on the last one. All right. So it gave me with time. Right. Then I had to put time, but probably it does not know your time. You can decide to add in your time. So prep time, teaching and grading, this just help a teacher to like organize his or her day. Now the other thing I said we should do, which I now want to add here, is I press shift at, right? I press that's shift 2, which was the at button. If you're using a mobile phone, I've really not walked through this thing on a mobile app, but it's not going to be far from this. If you're using a mobile phone, shift at, not only can you set a date or reminder, you can also invite people to your work, right? Or you can link it with other plans that you have on other projects, right? Then I'm going to say, remind me, right? So it's telling me by 9 a.m., tomorrow by 9 a.m. So let's say this does not work, it does not apply to us. Our classes will start by 9 a.m., probably 7 a.m. Or um, let's say 7 a.m., right? And I think that really does not apply to us in the sense that once it's 7 a.m. and you enter the school, it's time, except for the teacher that teach subjects that don't have to be in every single period. So let's say you enter the school by 7, do all the other formalities, then it's time for classes, and by 9, your own first period is by 9. Then you can prep yourself how you want to schedule your day. So this is more like a teacher prepping to. Let me make sure this is in before we get to that time. Right, so that is that there. So when you set this, it's just going to send you a reminder just as it did for me here, right? It's just going to send you a reminder. You can check through and see, not only can it just remind you once, you can tell it how long to remind you, maybe for as long as the school period exists, school session exists, you always get a reminder every day, right? You can do that. Then, so you can also do that for anywhere. The same thing, just heart. When you press the heart button, it brings out the shortcut to tell you when to set your reminder. That's what it asks us to do there. Then for weekly goals, you call on the AI again, press the space button, and your AI is out. Then the query we're supposed to give it for that. I think before we give the query, we're supposed to like outline our daily tasks. So our daily task was prep 2 classes. Okay, we've done this one, sorry. Have I skipped?
Hi, Elijah. I can't
Can you hear
hear
me?
you again.
Yeah, yeah,
I can
I'm
hear you
okay.
now.
Sorry, I was intently looking at my screen to see if I had skipped. I'm looking for weekly goal, or did I forget to put weekly goal on the document? This is daily tasks. Okay, this is weekly goal. All right, so this is our weekly goal. So let's say now what we did, the first one was to plan our day. Now we can also plan our week. So the idea in the lesson was to just plan a simple weekly goal, finish until finish unit plan to week 4, right? So some of us have to write um our plan for the week and all of that. Grade science quizzes. So this was just like an example. Right, so we can also just pop that in there. Then before I call AI, let me try the lists out, to-do lists. Let me drop it there. Should have just been among the to-do. Well, that's also a list. So you can also use a to-do list if you don't want to use that. Probably makes it checkable, so you can check it out. Let me see if I can do that for multiple. Okay, so you have to do it one after the other if I'm going to use as to-do list. Finish that. Next one. Great. And last one. So when you've actually outlined your goal for the week, AI cannot know your goal for the week. So it has to be what would I call it? It has to be a manual input. It has to be you telling the AI the things that you have to do in the week. So I think it was not on Saturday. I wrote out like 2 pages of things I have to achieve within a couple of days, right? I wish I plugged it in something like this. I've not done that yet. Maybe I'll do that because I kind of forgot. I just checked them today and I was like, oh Jesus. So then you can ask the AI, okay, turn this into weekly goal, into simple um tasks with suggested daily steps and progress track. So what this AI is going to do for us now is to turn this our list into weekly goals. So you want to finish off the plan onto the 4th week. You want to grade all science score by Friday. You want to read one article about formative assessment. Well, we now want AI to help us make it a daily task. So what are you going to do this week, right? With that. So I'm going to now call on my AI to convert everything on top into, so it's thinking for us. So he said on Monday, outline key concepts and learning objective. On Tuesday, draft daily lesson activity. On Wednesday, now what it just did for us is that it broke down what it takes to complete. It broke down. Oh, okay, I'm going to have to do that again. It broke down what it takes to complete a lesson plan, right? It helped us to break it down for our weekly goal. Then it also checked our science. That's the next set of instruction, next set of guideline. Keep. Next set of guideline it gave us. Okay, for the grading, on Monday, grade 5 quizzes. On Tuesday, grade 5 quizzes. Well, that would have been based on the amount of students that you put. So it helps us set our plan for the week into smaller goals. Then for formative assessment research, right? So if you said this in this group, it's my desire, it's I think everybody's desire that we grow, we improve, we get better. So studying and planning is very important. So we can also use AI to guide our learning. Interestingly, we can even use it to, I don't know if I talked about that already, I mentioned it. You can use it to create a curriculum for your learning. So I was at an event yesterday And they were saying things like someone will say, there is a reason why I could not learn a skill. In this AI age, nobody has an excuse. And it's more like okay, there has been the industrial boom. I think it was the farming boom, the industrial boom, the ICT boom, that's technology boom. And the boom we are right now is the age we are right now is the AI age. And what AI age has done for us, whether we accept it or not, is that information is at everybody's fingertips. If I want to understand everything about how to build ChatGPT right now, I can ask ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will tell me all the steps on how to build ChatGPT. So there is no information that um there's no information that is not within our reach, that's not within our power. So you can use AI, to set out a learning plan for yourself, right? So let's say as a teacher I wanted to learn formative this thing now. Let me even try that now. I didn't that was off the um so as you are checking out your tasks, AI will automatically be letting you know the ones you've completed. I want to try something now, just off of the grid. Create a curriculum. Take your something else, but curriculum to learn about formative assessments in those 3 days. So let's see what we get. All right. So on day one, it's giving us as a to-do list already. On day one, it said we should review article 7 smart ways. Now, not only did it give us a plan, it gave us materials that are already available online. All right, so it said review 7 smart ways to use formative assessment by Edutopia. So you just have to plug this out and go and search for it. I mean, in more advanced learning, one thing I know I can also implement into this is that not only will I will embed the link there. That if sometimes it's good to take a learn this software, it's good to do all the hard work once, so that when you come back, you don't have to do it over again. So I will pick this one now. I'll put the link at the corner. Put this one, put the link here. So that the day it gives me the reminder that it's time to do this, I'll just click on the link and I go straight to the link, right? So you can pick one day in the week and plan out your whole week. I mean, every successful book you read, all these self-help book you read, they'll tell you plan out your week, right? So I plan out my whole week, and now we have the guide of AI to not make us um do too much. Like now, if I wanted to do them, I've gone to Anga and search for all of these. But now all of these are already at my fingertips because of the information bank that is out there, right? So 10 minutes video that involve 5 assessment strategies. Identify 2 to 3 formative assessment techniques that could work in your classroom, right? So day one, it has given me a task and it's giving me a little quiz or a question to assess myself. How does this technique differ from the current assessment practices I have in my class? And next one, it said, which would be the easiest to implement immediately, right? So on day two, you gave us a plan to told us where to go and read, tell us to explore a digital tool. How many of us have explored Kahoot or Mentimeter? Well, so I've worked with Kahoot before. I worked with Mentimeter before. I didn't know Plickers. Mentimeter, I think I used that for a live meeting where you can just do a quiz. So well, we can't teach all the textbooks today. You know, I mean, there's just so much out there. It's inexhaustible, right? So Kahoot too, if you've seen that before, you can use it to have great lesson in your class, just like quizzes, right? Same to Mentimeter. I think Kahoot is not entirely free. Mentimeter, none of them are entirely free anyway. Nobody will do it too and just put it out there for free. You will pay now. So none of them are entirely free. So Mentimeter, in the classroom, let's say a classroom that have devices, you can tell all of them to join the bar quiz that you have on the board. There's one, the day we are going to have a class on, it's not among the AI class, but we're going to do it very soon, maybe towards the end of this year, a class on gamification. I've shared it with the group before. I shared the article. I said I was going to share it. I forgot again. Wrote an article on it on gamification tools. There's a tool that you can. There are lots of tools that you can use to play games in your class with your students for learning purpose. So they're actually playing games. Some of it were even introduced to me for my student I teach abroad. Like, we used to use this in our classroom. Let's do it together, teacher. And we did it that day. And even me as a teacher, I was enjoying the game. So as you are playing the game, your life is going down. If you want to get more life, you have to go and solve maths, right? So as you are solving maths, you are learning, right? You are playing game and learning at the same time. So the whole classroom will gather together. Everybody will be looking for who is the highest score, and everybody is learning. So they call that playway learning. So you are learning, or we call it they're learning. They are getting rewards, reward-based learning too. So that's what you can do with Kahoot, Mentimeter, and other Kahoot and other gamified platform out there. We'll have a complete webinar on that coming soon. All right. So how might I modify the strategies and all of that? So my point, you get it. Do we get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Who was on the call?
Yeah, for me,
Hello.
it's a
Hello.
lot to process. I'll still have to go and do my own work on it. Sure.
Okay. Please let me hear from someone else again. If we go with all the things I just said now, because I've been talking for some minutes. Miss Grace, did you hear what I've been saying? Miss Olayemi, Miss Lami, I think when I said it was quite difficult. Miss Oyindamola says Ogundimu. Are we still on the call?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so did you understand the things that I've been sharing since?
We are trying to understand.
Ah,
Not really. I am trying. I've downloaded the app, so I'm still trying to, work around it. But with this one now, at least it has given me more understanding. So by the time I finally start, I think I'll be able to navigate it properly.
okay, Miss Grace.
So
Uh,
please, sorry to cut you. I don't know, maybe at the end of the class, you can share the group, the call video, so
Yeah.
that we can use it to go through the materials as we are, areas where maybe we are finding it difficult. You can go through the videos, then continue from there.
okay, sir. It's all
Uh,
right. So I draw attention to the link again because it's on the group. And even this, am I recording? Oh my God, I've not been recording. I forgot. I actually forgot to
so,
record. But
yeah,
it's live
I
on YouTube
think it
too.
was when you left or something, because initially it was recording.
Okay, it's like
Yes.
what was this guy on the call? Fireflies is the one that we recorded. Anyway, it's live on YouTube, so it's recorded. In fact, what I'm saying
Oh.
now, they hear me on YouTube. YouTube, those that are
Oh,
watching on YouTube, you can drop a comment, and let us know that you're with us too. Yes, if you're watching it later, drop a comment. Just drop a comment there if you're watching it later. Okay, so I know we're going to try it out. Notion is working with browser. Yes, it works on the browser. It works on a mobile app also. I actually have the app on my phone. I don't know if I've deleted it, but I've had it for a long time. But have I really engaged with it? Not really. Most people that engage with it most times are social media personas. Okay, let's still move on. It's just quite a lot you can do with it. So this is more like your personal weekly progress tracker. Now, any more information I can get about Notion, I will send it to the group just to make us feel confident around it. I'll send video links. I'll deliberately dig in on more materials around it so that it will make it easier. And if I have to do a whole tutorial video on it, I'll do it, probably try and plan it 1 or 2 projects and share it with the group. All right. What next are we supposed to do? And the last one there was weekly goals, right? Have we done weekly goals? I think I understand why people said this was confusing because even in my eyes now, I'm looking at this thing, it's confusing me. Under weekly goals, what we just did now, right? So that's all checked. Then the last one is our journal. Now, so journal now is more like every day you come back to the app and just write a few things. So these are the questions you want to ask yourself, right? So John Maxwell will say meditation or meditate at the end of every day. Well, so um what is this other guy? Spoke about how did he put it? um How to build good habits. There was a guy that wrote a book on that. I will tell us the name very soon. So he said that we don't rise to the level of our potential, but we rise to our system or fall to our systems, right? And in that book, he spoke about 5 minutes acts where you can just like get 5 minutes, do 5 minutes. So at the end of the day, John Maxwell will say, if you can just give yourself 5 minutes to just give a quick reflection of what you did that day, it goes a long way because it helps you systematically plan out the next day, even mentally in your mindset. It helps you assess yourself to actually know if you're actually growing. And these are things that I think is very important for us as teachers. I have a mentor that once said something that one of the job that cannot be a price tag cannot put into it is teaching. So I've gone for a meeting before. They just come in, please come and address these people, come and address these people, and they give me 10K. Now that sounds very small, right? Compared to people that I have heard of that go for meeting, they just call you, please come and talk to these people, and they give them 100,000, they give them 1 million naira. They give them so just by saying your knowledge there's no price tag that can be attached to it. So what does that mean for us? Whatever application we're doing, we have to keep growing. So assessing ourselves, learning, checking our progress every day will help with that. Okay, so I think I've done that motivational speech. So let me stop there. So summarize these journal entries. Now, this is supposed to be well, something that will happen probably at the end of the week, right? So I've not put any entry here. So let me just say 23rd, what's this date? Night 9/9. Why is it no entry now? Sorry, 9/9/25. And what I thought. What did I teach today? Thoughts robotics. Okay, what worked? No worry, let me stop there. What will I change next time? I'll prepare faster, prepare earlier. Okay, prepare earlier. What worked? Was able to communicate the robotics foundation. Okay. Then in one sentence, what was your takeaway? Um, Technology has no bound. I'm just writing random things, please. If I was asked this question yesterday, I'd have written 2 textbooks. Okay, so coming down here, I could now tell the AI to could now tell the AI to like give me a summary of this journal. It's supposed to be multiple journals, but this is just one journal right now. So let's say you've run for the whole week, you have been jotting down everything you have done. It's not going to give me the action for the next week. So next week, it says implement a structured preparation time, right? So it's telling me that next week I should plan out my day. So this is like your personal body. I think that's what I called it on the YouTube video. Your personal body guide. Like it's just helping you. Now we can take this further. I probably think, as I said, tech stores is going to build products. And when I say that, because I'm software engineer, I'm a software engineer on this call, we're going to build products that will help you solve these things. So your personal body guide, you can build agents that the technology is getting to that point where your phone will be talking with you. I think I had someone that does that before. She can be talking to a mobile phone. Let me call this. So you can be having communication with your devices, and it's also like uh it's kind of like telling you what you're supposed to do next. We see it in movies, but right now it's here and now. It's happening right now around us. So this is telling me what to do. Develop clearer assessment metrics, so I should be able to clearly know what exactly measure my delivery better, right? Then also integrate technology reflection, add 5 minutes closing activity where students articulate one technology that impacted their learning process that day, right? So this is me using AI to plan out my week. That's what basically this is. So if you automated these tasks, all of this on a Monday, on a Sunday, before the week began, when the week starts pulling through, many things start seeming seamless. Now, there is now advanced automation. We cannot talk that all of that on this call because even this was really little complicated. But with that one, we'll use something we call Zapier. I'm ready going to I've just reviewed the project I did there before. So today's task was supposed to be how we can automate things. Now, why we brought this into the old training system or the old training plan is Zapier and other automation tools out there can help you automate things like sending reports to parents, right? Sending in um getting feedback. Maybe your students submit their assignments. I mean, most of this sounds so technological. It might not apply to every school, but the truth is that we will get there soon, right? And um students submit their assignments online, and there's an automatic notification to you or an automatic feedback to the student. So the student submit an assignment, AI mark the assignment, prepares a feedback for the student. Maybe it does not send it because sometimes we need to assess what the AI is created as a feedback. And we see, okay, this is good. And we click send, accept to send, and it sends. So you didn't have to go through all the process. Now, are there some biases in that? Yes, because AI does not know what the child was thinking when he was answering. I think I listened to some podcast. Does not know what the child is thinking when he was answering. Does not know, cannot really assess how the child. That is why teachers cannot be replaced, right? Cannot really assess why. I mean, as a teacher, we know we're supposed to pay attention to our students. Cannot really assess what is making the child behave the way he behaves, right? It can give recommendation, but it does not have feelings, right? It does not have empathy. It does not have communication skill. It cannot really understand human context. So what thing it can do is just to use data, what it sees. So if the child did rubbish, maybe the child just had mistake in spellings, though AI can auto correct spellings too. But let's say just some the mistakes are significant. I mean, insignificant, but because it's AI, you might not be able to really assess those things. So these are automation tools. There's another one, Lindy. I think I mentioned it there. I think I used it for one project one time. Yeah, this is it here. So job automation. So more like you already put your resume and AI will be helping you to tweak your resume. Anytime there's a job opening to apply for you without you touching it. Like once you just notice a job opening on Google Jobs and all those things, it's tweak your resume to fit the opening and sends it in. So when we did it, I only did it just to send to myself. So that's just it was just like a project I did in a training I was doing then. Right. So what did I do? This was a form that we filled, right? Now it's closed. I don't know if it's open back, but it's closed because I already exhausted the free version. I think at this point over 100 people registered and it stopped the auto this thing. So what you need to do something like this is a trigger. What is a trigger? What is going to start the automation? So you want your lights to come on in the house. There has to be a trigger. in robotics, we can call that sensors, right? It can be a sensor in programming, it can be an event, something that starts up something. So for example, when I say go, I want you to do this. So that's a trigger. What triggers an action? I believe you understand that, right? So in this case, we're setting up our trigger. The first thing is that I connected my Google Sheets. Do I have to should I start this thing from scratch, or should I just use this one to explain? How did you guys give you the heads up? Should I start it from the scratch, or should I shall I
We
give you
try.
answer?
I think from scratch will be better.
Start from
Okay.
scratch.
Okay, so let's try and start from the scratch together.
Please
Let
start
me go
from
to the
scratch.
home. Let me go to the home. Um, Automate workflow. Okay, so we can see something. We can see automate workflow, automate data, interface app form, chat box, AI powered chat box. Now, these tools, I mean, I don't want to hype it too much. It's yes, professionals use it, yes, but anybody can use it. That's the divide that has been broken right now. There's nobody that cannot do anything when it comes to technology right now. Just any dummy, let me use that word, can pick up technology if he's intentional and get it done. I mean, okay, don't let me talk too much. All right, so let's say automated. This is a Zap. That's what I used for that one. So let's say someone here, you want to do a webinar, you want to do a meeting, you can use Zap. Or in your classroom, you told your student to submit an assignment, you can use Zap. You can just wherever. So what can I help you automate? So just before I start, I want to play around with this AI too. So just to tell it what I want to automate. Let me see what we're going to get. I want to automate my students' results after submission. So let me see what this young man is going to tell me. AI is not a man. No. All right, so let's see the AI do the work. If it does the work perfectly, so I don't have to like teach it again. When you just open your own, just open AI and say you want to do it and to do it for you. Okay, so he said form submission created, formatter by Zap and Zap tables, that's to create record. Formatter for a quiz. So let's look at what each of them is saying there. So let me check what is the form submission. So form submission, this is like an entry form where they like, let me see what we have inside there. All right, so what's happening here is it's creating a kind of form that I'm not really familiar with, and it's the Zap form, right? So this is directly from Zap. Not normally I will interface it with my Google Sheet, Google Doc, but in this case, they're interfacing it with Zap Doc, right? Zap Sheets. That's what's going on here. So I don't want to complicate matter. Let me just close this and delete all of this. All right, so but we're exactly going to do that kind of process, but we're going to use Google so that it comes home better. All right, so the first thing here is trigger, and next thing is action. So trigger is what is going to start this Zap. That is what the trigger is asking. So I need to set up my trigger. It's loading. why we still keep talking about this, so my trigger here and these are triggers. So let's say you are telling students to submit an assignment. It's likely going to be a form, but I'm not going to use the form now for an example because I don't want to start searching for a form. Or yeah, I could actually use the form, but I don't start searching a form. We'll create a form. How many of us know how to create Google Forms? How many of us don't know how to create Google Forms? How many of us know how to create Google Forms? Let me just know. I believe everybody knows how to, right? Nobody answered. Okay, so Google Sheets. I'll use Google Sheets. So most times if you create a Google form, you want to connect that form to a Google Sheets. So for example, when we registered for any program, our data is being transferred to a sheet, that's a Google Sheet. And we can now say at this point that what triggers the action is anytime a new role is created on the sheet. So when you sign up on a form, it's going to send a new role to the Google Sheets that the um that was created. Now, this use case can work for just almost any areas, any field in the business world, right? So I could say new or updated sheet spreadsheet row, new spreadsheet, no, new spreadsheet row. So this triggers is when a new row is added at the bottom of the sheet. So this is what I need here, right? That is my trigger. So basically, anytime somebody adds something, I have to choose I have to choose a file. Okay, so that's here. Okay, well, that's it. I have to choose a file. So, on the next slide, I'm going to configure. It's going to ask me for the spreadsheet. I have to look for a spreadsheet in my Google Sheet. So there, I'll do from like play around with. Let me play around with Quiz Bank. Nothing really is there, so I can use that and just say you should pick from sheet one. So nothing really is on that Google Sheets. It's just a test for a class I did. So continue. Finally, we can test it here, right? We can test the trigger, and if I add anything to that sheet, it's going to send an email to this email, which is my email here. So that is that. So the trigger has been set, and the trigger is anytime somebody inputs something on your sheet. Now, as I said earlier, the trigger can be anything. It can be when your students submit a Google form. It can be when, do you see your Notion here? So that's why I said you can infuse Zapier and Notion together. So I could tell it that when it's time for me to, when it's time, sorry, call is coming in and it's an important call. So when it's time for me to um receive a to read a book, I can tell Zapier to mail that book to my email. I would have loved to try that. Like when my calendar says it's time for reading a book, the trigger will come on what do they call it? Will come to Zapier, and Zapier will send an email to my email, probably with the material that I should read. That is an automation you can do. Or when it's time to create a lesson plan, the Zapier will create the lesson plan for us. So there's a way you can integrate that also. Yeah, we'll come to that. The Zapier will create the lesson plan. So we'll just tell you we have already prepared the topic. So Notion will send the topic to Zapier. Zapier AI will create the lesson plan, send it as a mail to your account. That sounds very interesting, but it's true anyway. Well, that's that. So to test, I'm not testing, because I'm not really doing it. So this is my trigger. Anything can just be your trigger, as I've established already. Then for action, right? So for action, it can be a chat box. It can be a Google form. It can be Mailchimp is like is another mailing system. Bit.ly is another link system. Calendar, it can trigger your calendar up. It can just be anything. It can be that okay, it picks that person if maybe it's a form now, it picks the child's results and send it to a Google Sheet directly for you. So you can still also interface, what will they call it now? You can interface a marking system and it just bring it directly to here. You can go directly to Google Slide. So for the case of what we did in the class for the form, what I did was my Gmail. So when a new row is created, I told it to use the Gmail. And what do I wanted to do from the Gmail? I wanted to send message to the person that I wanted to send message out to whosoever registered. That's what I use Gmail for. So I don't think I'm supposed to click Gmail. Come in one sec. Yeah, this is Gmail. Okay, so when a message comes, what I wanted to do is to create a draft reply, create a draft email. So I wanted to create a message, then continue. So in my message now, it's asking me who do I want to send it to. So in this case, let me use another form here so that you just see what I'm saying. So instead of quiz bank, let me use the form that we filled for brand to stand out. Form response. So I'm going to type in a message I want to type in here. But instead of a message, I want it to pick the email from that form. First, you need to do so. I'm going to complete these steps. It just wants me to test, and I don't want to test. This might send mail to somebody now that I did not plan. So it's asking me which of the row do I want to pick the email. I think the email was on C. Is it C or B? So that's really going to take my time now to go and start finding out. So I'm going to like just skip. So what I was going to do was just to like pick, I will pick where the person's email is. You know, when a form is a Google Sheet is created, it's columns. So I'm going to pick the specific column that contained the person's what do we call it? The person's email. Then if I want to send it to another person, I can also add that as a CC and BCC. Then I'll write my subjects. So I can plan out the subjects, right? Okay, just for example, thank you very much for even bringing that out. So for example, the person email is here. City, QT. So I think this was like the first person that filled the form, right? So that person email. Then for the subjects, I can now say, so most times you see something like hello, then after this, I'll pick the person's name. So what's going to happen is that no matter whose name it is, to just say hello, this is somebody's name in the group right now. So hello, the person's name. Then from, so I can just pick who his message is coming from, basically coming from me, then put a plain body type, then I'll write my text, right? Write in the kind of text I want to do. I'm not seeing, I'm coming, just 1 second, something is not right here. All right, so the way AI is integrated to this one different from Lindy. All right, so I can type in the text I want to type. Now, what you can do with Lindy, which is quite different, is that not only can you type in, you can tell it to create a what do I call it? To create an email by itself, right? You can tell it type in the kind of email you want it to do. And once you are done with that, you just continue. And what you just did is just publish or test run, right? You just publish the project and it will start running. So you have to test it. If you test it, you're most likely going to receive a mail in your email from when a new entry comes to the form. So that's basically how this works. And it does not only work like this for Zapier. It works the same way for other okay, so I can't remember my password here. Okay. I don't think I had one. Automation tools out there. Zapier is very popular because it integrates with a lot of other tools. From what you saw there, once I click on that sign, so many other tools came out there that we can also use Zapier for. Let me continue with this. I think I'll show us the one that I did with LinkedIn before, and we'll just end the class around here. So as we still begin to round up, I asked about if we were interested in physical class, and this was because a body reached out to me and were willing to like sponsor a physical training, right? Don't know how the depth of their sponsorship, but they were willing to like sponsor to see just to assist in seeing that we could make this a physical meeting, right? So that's why I asked if we are in for a physical meeting, and I think it's going to be very beneficial, especially seeing that we'll probably set up in a way that everybody can experience it on the go. Like since we are going to be there together, we'll probably be out of every distraction and focused in the learning process, whereby probably if we're able to get a good location where there's computers and everything, we'll probably gather together, use our computers and all of that. So I said that since it's like a community meeting, I think I will just stop the YouTube video. Since it's like a community meeting, so I was going to ask again on the call. I know many of us already said yes, right? So